Hello, good evening. Welcome to Cyberskillfarm. I'm with Ray and Hicks. So,
Hi.
yeah. So, Hicks, let's start with your career story. How did you start your career in IT?
Well, basically, when I was in college, I was actually, after graduating high school, I was actually thinking what course will best fit me and my skills. And I actually based it from the result of the NCAE exam, if you're familiar with that. So all high school students usually take NCAE exams to assess their skills or to recommend any courses. And during that time, I was recommended for social courses like nursing, teacher, etc. And IT is not one of those. So that's just my secondary choice for investigative or scientific. So that includes IT and other sciences. And so I initially enrolled nursing because that was actually my interest. So I spent 2 years of my college life in nurse as a nursing student, and then sadly when we were granted this CHED scholarship, it was just so unfortunate that nursing was not part of their priority list of courses. So we were given like few options to or courses to choose from, and I thought maybe why not take information technology, because I think during that time we are already in the verge of um, technology. And I remember when I was in college, I saw some IT students having their doing their computer programming, doing their projects in network technologies, and I thought that was really cool. So I grabbed the chance, and that's when I started to love IT up until now.
Okay, so that's what motivated you to change your career in IT. So, you think that yeah, the technology? Yeah.
That's right. Aside from the technology, I think, I was actually just, I was initially impressed on how cool they do things like programming. Some students do the network or the hardware part. And so I thought maybe it's a great option for me to discover. And, basically, I loved it. So yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, thank you. So, the next question is: were there people who help you along the way in your career? Like,
Definitely, there are a lot of people. Well, it may not be known to everybody else, but after graduation, I was not able to land an IT job right away. So I explored BPO. So I was a call center agent before for 2 years. And then right after, I felt that it's really not the line for me. So definitely there were some people that helped me push to line up myself with the career that I really chose, which is IT. And so I was encouraged by, of course, my family. They are our number one supporters. So they asked me if I can apply or search for any IT career roles, and that's when I saw an opening from our company, and I guess the rest is history.
okay.
Excuse me, is it okay if I have a question?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure,
Ray. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Hi Hicks. Also from a career coming from the call center BPO industry to shifting to an IT role, were there challenges when it came to how you transition from that role to the other? Because they say that okay, you have no we at that time you did not have any IT experience yet coming from the BPO or call center industry. So how were you able to transition?
Uh, Definitely, there were a lot of challenges. To be specific, when it comes to technicalities, and
Yeah.
basically, I was vacated for 2 years, and that's long enough to forget what you have learned in college, right? So
True.
the transition was really very hard, especially when I got into the network team right away upon employment in Accenture. Like there was really no training. On our first day, we were asked to to log into servers, to log into network
Yes.
devices, and it's really a new environment compared to what I'm doing in the BPO. But definitely, I was just probably very lucky because I was able to keep some of my notes in college. I was able to still be able to refresh my memories from the learnings that I got, especially on our school, because I think it was also a plus factor that our school was a Cisco partner. So during my college year, I was actually the president of the Netgear organization, or the Cisco
Oh,
organization in our
yes.
school. So it really helped a lot in terms of my transitioning. And so yeah, I think but there were definitely challenges, but during that time the transitioning was really very smooth because I was able to refresh some of the learnings that I got from school.
So Hicks, did I hear it correctly? So your notes from when you were in college really helped you a lot during that transition, or was
Yes,
it the
upon
starting?
Yes, definitely. Well, upon learning that I will be deployed to network team in Accenture, I immediately pulled off all my notes from college and my books. So I was able to review some of the network concepts, like anything about VLANs, about network topologies to be exact, and of course the routing protocols. So those are just some of the topics that I was able to remember when I was in college, and of course the subnetting part. So those were just some of the topics that I was able to remember. Apart from the resources that I have with me, like the books and my notes, there were also support from my teammates. So I was very lucky enough that I was deployed on a group of people. They were really very seasoned network engineer, and they've shared their best practices. And of course, I got my fair share of the knowledge transfers. That's what we term it in our company, and they were able to share their experiences as well. So I've learned from all of them.
So that's so what are the career positions did you experience so far? Like your incident or what?
I was originally part of the infrastructure monitoring. So when I was deployed, after staying 2 months of knowledge transfers, I was asked to be part of the infra monitoring team. So from the word itself, we do the monitoring. We, as much as possible, need to address the issue in terms of the uptime of our devices before an incident breaks out, right? So it's like a proactive monitoring. And then I stayed there for a while. And then after which I got to the incident team and then stayed there for like 2 years and then moving to the infrastructure change. So basically, you do the network changes and controls specific just for network. And then right after that, I actually stayed there the longest, like about 4 years. And then I went to the infrastructure engineering. So it's more of a level up on what you do on infrastructure change. And then I was asked to be a lead for infrastructure monitoring again, last 6 months ago, I think. So up until now, that's what I'm currently doing.
So what are the common problems or challenges did you encounter in your work?
There are many challenges that I've experienced on my 7 year stay on the company. Of course, definitely, I think one of the most memorable changes, or one of the most memorable incidents that I handled is the well, I think we can term it P1. So if there's a total disruption of the network connectivity, right? So any incidents or the impact to the business should be raised to priority one. And that was because of the firewall migration that we did. So I've really learned a lot from that. I think we all learn from experience.
Okay, so Renz, you have questions or not? So let's
Yeah,
move on. Yeah.
is it okay? I have a question. Hicks, I actually, before coming to IT, I actually came from a different career as well. But I want to tell the story about that. Um, when it comes to transitioning from when you said you leveled up from one position to the other, aside from showing, of course, your technical skills and prowess and experience, uh, at what point was there a role where also there was the people who you knew really help you in transferring from one position to the other? Was it more of you proactively searching out that position within the company, or was it something that really just presented itself to you that from this position you went to the next position and so on?
Um, the good thing about that is they don't force individuals to level up, or it should come from the individual themselves. Like whenever you feel you're ready, I think that's the time you set your intent to level up. And that's when I felt that after staying for 2 years in incident, it felt like a routinary task. So I wanted to somehow experience other levels or other areas of network. And so I asked if I can be a member of the change team. So usually the intent comes from me whenever I feel that I'm ready. But the management was not really more of the other way around, where they would ask certain people to level up forcefully.
I see.
Um, I don't know if that's the way on other companies, but I think just for whenever you feel you're ready, I think that's when the right time to do intent to the other team. Yeah.
I think this is really a good thing because yes, there are really other companies who will really put you on the spot at some times.
Yes, that's right.
It
Although I
happens.
think for that way, I think it could also be beneficial, because if that will be the case, you won't know that you are capable of doing things, right?
True. True.
So at one point, I think that is also very helpful. But I think it's more important to really assess yourself if you're really ready for that job, and that's when you know that it's the right time to intend. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Agree
just my point of view.
100% on that.
So, knowing that the career in IT is very broad, so are you
Hmm.
leaning towards a generalist, or you prefer to become a specialist?
Um. Yes. I am exploring other options apart from network, especially that IT is already evolving as we know it. Right. We're at one point moving to the cloud, but at the same time, I think I wanted to also invest more on automations. So just last night, I was actually exploring some tutorials on the internet. Of course, that's our number one source.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I'm just still checking and exploring myself how that field can be helpful to what I'm currently doing, to help transform, the daily operations of the team. So yeah, definitely exploration still in progress.
Okay. So, if you can travel back on time and give one advice to your younger self who started career in IT, so what would it be?
Um, You know what? If I'm gonna next year, it will be my 10th year after my college graduation, and so it's definitely a year to reassess yourself. And I would probably tell my younger self to not be afraid of taking risk, because I would just like to share that right after graduation, there was an anxiety within me of uh, probably I have I experienced very low self-esteem, because I think I will not be able to make it on the information technology field. But that was proven to be wrong. Sometimes if you are in, you just need to test yourself. You just need to be confident about yourself, and I think everything follows.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing from a team lead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to the last question. So what were the top three skills you think you need when you did the role you are right now, or that role?
Definitely, and primarily the very first requirement is the technical skills. In order for you to lead the team, you need to have a grasp of the network, or the overall network setup of the company you're working for, right? Apart from that, of course, your leadership skills. If you are given the chance to lead a team, I think that would also be helpful. And apart from leadership skills, I think your social skills, because you're not just interacting, within your team. You're also interacting with other members of the organization, and so I think possessing social skills is really a plus factor, apart from having a leadership skills and having uh, technical skills. So I think those are the three essential
Yes.
skills that we need to possess.
Okay, so that's my last question. So Renz, do you want to add something? Yeah.
Um, um, Hicks, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your time with us and sharing your story, because we're really dedicating this channel, Cyber Skill Farm, for really empowering IT professionals. And I
Right.
really thank you for sharing a little bit of nuggets of wisdom based from your experience. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, guys. Bye. And Grace, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you. Thank you,
Ray
Grace.
and Mary Grace.